Yeah, yeah.
Okay, all right, and now we come onto the film. We come onto the film that Sharon sort of invoked God to avoid seeing, and this is 80 for Brady.
80 for
Now,
Brady,
now,
yes.
okay, now, Sean, you're the only one who's seen this in cinemas.
Yeah,
You're the only
and
one who's seen this,
I probably
but
will be because it's very, very American.
I have seen
it's
the trailer.
Pardon?
yeah,
I've seen the trailer.
Yeah,
but I'll give the headlines. I'll give the headlines of this.
yeah,
This is kind of a film that you would say where they'll be like starring Fonda, Tomlin, Moreno, and Field. So it's like
yes.
yeah. So Sally Field, Jane Fonda, Rita Moreno, Lily Tomlin. They are the ones who are in this film, and I feel like this is the kind of film that it seems like it said there's bits of this like and the trailer and the advertising that it's all about come see these legends, come see this acting
Yeah.
legends have fun. And it feels like they have done these are all women who do not need to prove themselves to anything anymore. They've I think three of them have won Oscars, and
Mm.
the only one who hasn't won an Oscar, Lily Tomlin, is probably because I don't think she wanted to. Quite
No, 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 no.
frankly,
And
in my head,
to be fair, she's probably the weakest of the four, I would think. Although Rita Moreno, I only really know her from West
West
Side.
Side
West
Story.
Side Story, yeah,
Mm.
West Side Story.
My only observation of the trailer was a couple of the ladies I barely recognised
Do you know, Sharon? I was going to say that when I do the
because there's a
review.
couple of them I was thinking when they said the names of the people when they said, you know, this actress is in it and this actress, and I was like, were they? Which one was she?
Yeah.
And then
Well,
it's only when I looked back that I suddenly was like, I think that was who I think
Jane
it is.
Fonda. Jane
Jane Fonda.
Fonda.
they
I don't want
they
to be I don't
they
want to be unkind about it, but I'm thinking I
yeah,
think
some
you've had a bit of work
serious,
done.
Oh no no
serious work. Yeah,
no
exactly
Jane
right. And
Fonda.
I was going to
Ja-
come to that.
no, the thing,
I think
I
probably
think
Rita Moreno and Jane Fonda have definitely, and
gone
Jane
on the
Fonda
knife.
especially. But I have
You
to
know,
say, whoever did it was incredibly good.
no,
Okay.
the thing is, I think Jane Fonda has made no. She's been very open about the fact that she's had quite a bit of plastic surgery, and but she said it was to prolong her career. She reckons that she got 10 years of work that she wouldn't have had if she hadn't done it,
Yeah, yeah,
which. I have to be honest with you, she's probably right about because of the way
yeah,
Hollywood
yeah,
is.
yeah, yeah.
And but I think because I've been watching Grace and Frankie, which is Jane Fonda and Lily Tomlin, I've over the last 6 7 years, I've kept a track of what Jane Fonda looks like. Although I have to be honest with you, there's one particular episode of Grace and Frankie where they essentially the, they did this episode where they say, what if Jane Fonda, her character Grace, had even more plastic surgery, and they make her look almost unrecognizable. So they make her look like that Jocelyn Wildstein, the lady who's
Yeah.
sometimes called the cat lady. They make Jane
Yeah.
Fonda look like that, and I think in this film they have particularly upped it, and they've done the makeup to make Jane Fonda look even more sort of like 80-year-old
Young.
Barbie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like they've done even more to do that. But the thing about this film is that it seems like it's this acting legends. There's four of them, and it looks like let's take 80-year-old women and let's remake The Hangover with
Yeah.
80-year-old women.
Or,
That's
or,
what.
or Sally Field, who keeps saying, "No, I'm actually only 75." But yeah. So yeah. Anyway, so the story is it's actually based on a true story. Is
Oh yeah.
the Lily Tomlin character? She's had she's in remission from she had a lot of treatment for cancer and all that, and through all the cancer, these other three, they sort of kept her going, and all the way through it, they kept watching the Patriots, New England Patriots, American football team, and Tom Brady, so he's sort of and through the film, there's like the cheesy bit of like Tom Brady's on the screen and he'll say, "Oh, you can do this," do you know what I mean? So he's sort of giving advice that she can look up and sees to give advice to. Um, anyway, so they want to go to the Super Bowl, the Super Bowl with the Chiefs, and obviously they can't get tickets. And then there's a local TV station that has this competition, and they get the tickets. So they get the tickets, and so off they go to the Super Bowl. The Super Bowl and like Jane Fonda's like she has relationships with she's all through. She had relationships with really really bad guys, and of
Hmm.
course she's there and she meets some she
Really
meets
bad
like
guy.
she meets someone who you guys would never heard of, some sort of old American football star that was like, "Oh, are you know
Who? Terry Bradshaw.
No, not Bradshaw. I can't even remember the guy's name. But anyway, so there's that bit, and then Sally Field enters the this like eating competition of eating the hot stuff,
hot wings,
and yeah, she goes this competition and she sort of wins it. They're not hot at all, and everyone's like, so there's that little bit, but she loses the tickets. So and she's like lost the tickets, but they've met some other characters through this. It's just really, really cliched, you know. It's just like really like the Golden Girls. So they have all this, you know, all these adventures, and the people that they meet are really good. So they get the tickets back. They find the tickets. They make the guy around the chicken wing competition. He says, "Yeah, I've got the bag and all that." And then, but the tickets are fake. And Lily Tomlin has bought fake tickets really because she just wanted to go. But they just happened to bump into this other chap that Jane Fonda gets caught in not Jane Fonda. Rita Moreno gets in a poker game, and the guy that she met in the poker game, which was a charity one, they happen to bump into him, and he goes, "Oh, you can come in," and then they go into the box and they watch the game, and blah blah blah.
I found you then.
Unless you're American or American football fan, I think it would be totally just over. There's lots of cameos of famous American footballers that can't act to save their lives. They are just like, oh yeah, that's right. Jane Fonda's written a book called The Gronk, where there's this tight end, which you won't know who played, but he's called Ron Gorowski or some Gronkowski, and of course he's in it. But all these American football players, they can't act. They try. Oh, you're so, and you've got.
To be honest with you, I've never heard of Tom Brady. So
Tom Brady is actually in a film, and I can't remember what it was, but they wanted his DNA. He's been in a couple of films because he was like a 40-year-old.
Is he like the Bobby Moore of?
Probably
American
bigger.
football?
Probably he's won the most Super Bowl. In this particular Super Bowl, this one was against the Chiefs, 53, I think.
Okay.
And it was like the biggest comeback ever of a Super Bowl. It went into overtime, and it was and this is the way where she sort of speaks to Tom Brady. She meets Tom and sort of says to him, "Oh, you know, you can win the game now," and blah blah blah. So anyway, cut a long story short, it's like Golden Girls. It's just you know, it's just having fun. I think it's just having fun. And I mean, there's still I didn't mind it too much because I got a lot of the American football references, and there was some American football in it. But Chaz, you would have known anybody. You would go, "Who
I wouldn't have known.
Hell is that?" You know,
I wouldn't have known any of them. But then, to be honest with you, if you put if you put Premier League footballers on the television, I wouldn't know any of them either. I don't follow any sport.
Actually, what's strange is I probably know more American football players than I do. No, I don't. No, that'd be what
I could probably pick out Harry Kane in a lineup, and that's it. I probably could not pick out many of the others.
But I do have to just say this: with the last Super Bowl, I was over in Bournemouth with my it was one before. Yeah, no, sorry, not this one. The one before. We were watching it in a bar. England, the World Cup. It was the World Cup we were watching. It was one weekend we were watching the World Cup, and it was England to play USA. It was that game, and we went into this bar. And when they played the American national anthem, me and my mate Luke were like, "Oh,
give over."
They were like, "No, seriously, yeah, no, we seriously did that," and we got so many looks, and it was like, well, I'm a big America-phile, so I mean, as I say, I
would have not been able to stand next to you if you did that.
I know.
I would have been embarrassed.
I understand that. I get that so much with like people saying, "Oh, America, blah 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 blah."
Not anti-American, but I would find that just find that unbelievable.
Find it outrageous.
It's not your flag. I'm like, it's not your flag.
Yeah, I know. I'm sorry, but that's.
But I wouldn't do that to my own flag. I think that's idolatrous. But that's going back to what I was like, that's idolatry. Stop doing that.
Yeah.
Because I wouldn't do that for my own flag. If they said, "You know what, we've been introduced to England, do you sort of doing all this?" I'm like, no, that's idolatry. I won't do that.
Hey, I still have trouble singing "God Save Our Gracious King."
Oh, yeah. Doesn't slip off the tongue yet. It's still not quite there yet.
I mean, when it comes to national anthems, I just like singing them. Really, just like I like even the Russian one, and the French one I love as well. So You know, I find
Allons
ours
et fans de la patrie.
the Marseille, yeah.
Yeah.
So
All right. So how many
anyway.
stars for 80 for Brady?
Okay, well, for me, because it had the American football connections, and I quite like American football connection, it had the Super Bowl experience, it had a bit of the game, had a bit. I'd probably give it a 3. I think any English person that has no idea who Tom Brady is, who doesn't like American football, even with the actresses in, it would probably be a 1 or a 2, because they would be like, "What is this?"
Why did they hire that actor to play an American football player and he can't even act?
So I mean, personally, with the American football slant, I'd give it a 3, but I think seriously, it really probably only deserves a 2 because it is pretty dire.
You know, but I feel like the problem with this, or not even the problem, but with this film, you know what you're getting. So you watch the trailer, you know what you're getting. It's kind of like writ large, and it's still this. So because have you ever seen a film called Detroit Rock City?
No.
And that is based about 4 boys in the 1980s who are trying to get to a Kiss concert, and the Kiss concert is going to be in Detroit, and they're trying to get down there. And some of the story beats sound exactly the same. They win the tickets on a radio show, but they lose the tickets because the guy who won the tickets hung up before he gave them his details. So they have to now try and figure all these ways of getting into it, and they'll have to try and sneak their way backstage and everything like that. And then Kiss show up at some point, and Gene Simmons is part of the film, and I'm like, this sounds like a remake of Detroit Rock City with a bit of the hangover thrown in, but everybody's 80 years old.
It totally would not happen. It totally would not happen. It's like you know the security guy that doesn't let him in with the fake tickets. He's like, he lets him in at the end. He's nice at the end. You know what I mean? You think he's come along and be horrible. But no, he's. So it's all very very.
Yeah, it's very 80s wish fulfillment. But hey, 3 stars for 80 for Brady.